If you're seeing this video right now, odds are you've seen plenty of other I spent 100 days in Minecraft challenges. There's gonna be Pixelmon, RL Craft, Hardcore, any of the sorts. But this one right here is gonna be a Pixelmon one, but I have set a little bit of a challenge for myself. I'm gonna challenge myself to complete the entirety of the Kanto Pokedex within these 100 days. All 151 Pokemon caught, including Mew, Mewtwo, and the legendary birds. And not stopping there, I'm actually going to go for an entire living dex. A living dex is having one of each Pokemon in the box and Pokedex order. If you do enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It would help a lot. And if this video gets liked enough by enough people, like enough people express that they enjoy it, I'll do a part 2 where I complete the Johto Pokedex, which shouldn't be as hard as this one considering there's a significant amount of less Pokemon. But we could do today 101 to 200, catching the entirety of the Johto Pokedex. Anyway, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get this video started. So we begin with day 1. I thought it'd be, pretty dumb to not pick a starter from Kanto when I'm going for a full Kanto living dex. So I ended up picking Charmander, mainly because, well, I like Charmander the most out of the three. And also, it'd be useful for a flying mount in the future. Anyways, I got kind of lucky by spawning right next to a Pokemon Center because I don't have Pokeheal enabled, so the only way for me to heal is at healing stations and the Pokemon Centers. But something even luckier, or I guess unlucky, happened as soon as I loaded it. It's not like I would have caught the Azelf either way, considering that I was gonna wait and do like more parts of this in the future. But it's not like I could have caught it anyway because I didn't have Ultra Balls or Pokeballs at all. But yeah, there was really nothing I can do about that, so I kind of just had to sit there and listen to it drown while I broke the tree right next to it. And yeah, that was a great start. I also really didn't state this in the beginning, but I'm gonna limit myself to only Kanto Pokemon because if I do end up doing a part 2, part 3, if I were to do part 2 and 3, I would already have Pokemon towards the other Pokedexes, which wouldn't really be, fair considering if I already have Pokemon from, other regions. So the first half of this day was pretty much just resource gathering, because I'm going to need like a bunch of iron to make Pokeballs if I do decide to make my own. I'm going to need a lot of, bauxite ore, because I have to make machines to like bring fossils back to life and stuff, or make cloning machines for Mewtwo, or for Mew, and stuff like that. But eventually, after all of that resource gathering, I did run into a village, which I instantly decided to make my home, mainly due to the fact that there were actual Pokemart people there that actually loaded in properly, so I could instantly sell stuff that I took from Pokemon Centers, because the Pokemon Centers have a bunch of medicine that you can sell for a decent amount of money and then just buy Pokeballs. So I was just gonna stick with that. But yeah, I sold the medicine from the Pokemon Center and I bought around 18 Ultra Balls, I think. So I may or may not have taken the end of the day, end of the episode thing too seriously. So anytime that I got nighttime for a while, I would just instantly sleep before, actually doing stuff at nighttime. But either way, this is the end of day 1. Anyways, day 2 begins and it's time to start catching Pokemon. I also tried to push this person out of the Pokemart, and it took me like a full 2 minutes before I realized that they weren't moving, and that you can't move the NPCs by pushing them. So yeah, that was a pretty dumb moment by me. The first thing I caught was an Ekans that had to be the team carry for a little bit, because my Charmander's level 5. I also caught a female Nidoran, which was level 2, so it wasn't that much of a problem to catch. I caught a Growlithe, and I also caught a Magikarp. So just like that, I had 5 Pokemon knocked off the list. So day 3 rolls around, and the only Pokemon I catch this day are Meowth and Diglett, because I really want to get to exploring as soon as possible. I decided to take a casual stroll through this desert, and then bam. So yeah, that was the thing. After running through the desert for pretty much the whole day, I ended up finding another village. But an Ultra Space portal spawned right outside of the village that I was running to. I was collecting blocks so I could build up and go into the Ultra Space portal, but it literally despawned as soon as I finished building up there to it. After heading into the village, checking the blacksmith, which happened to have a super rod, I decided to call that the end of day 3. The only interesting thing that happened on day 4 was I found a Moltres shrine, which I instantly went and saved the picture of the coordinates, and then I caught an Abra, and that was pretty much it for day 4. So day 5 begins, and my plan is to build a PC. I got the glowstone from both of the Pokemon centers that I had found so far, and then I started mining for redstone. When I say I spent the rest of this day looking for a Dratini I saw on my minimap, that is exactly what I did. And to make things even worse, I ran out of Ultra Balls before I could even catch it, so I had to kill it either way, so it was pretty much a wasted day. So day 6 rolls around and I have enough resources to make a PC, which is what I do, but I also do this as a result of a dare from a friend I was in a call with, so yeah, yep. Anyways, the rest of this day was filled with exploring because I'm out of money and I'm also out of Ultra Balls, so I have to go explore to either find apricorns to make my own Pokeballs, or find like more villages and stuff to make money from. But then once again, I'm found in a forest with no Ultra Balls, and this happens yet again. Honestly, at this point, all I can do is be happy that it wasn't a Mew that spawned when I didn't have any Ultra Balls, because that'd be very unfortunate, and I'd probably cry. Anyway, at the end of this day, I ended up finding another village where I was able to raid the Pokemon Center and grab the medicine, but lo and behold, there were no Pokemon people, so I couldn't sell it anyway. Nothing else eventful really happened this day, so I just chilled in this village overnight, and that was the end of day 6. So the next morning, I made the long journey back to my home, where I was able to sell the medicine and buy about 10 Great Balls. And then all I did on day 7 was use those 10 Great Balls to catch as many Pokemon as I could. Which apparently wasn't that many. I caught a Metapod, a new Meowth, and a Voltorb. What an eventful day 7. Day 8, on the other hand, is when all the fun started to begin. On day 8, as soon as I woke up, an Ultra Space portal spawned just above my house, and I was able to get enough blocks and build into it in time. Ultra Space is where I spent the next 5 days, so I'm going to put a little montage of everything that happened from day 8 to day 12. After looting end cities for 5 days, I thought I'd been here long enough, so I decided to head home and end the day. Day 13 was also pretty uneventful. All I did was head southeast of my house, which is one of the directions I hadn't gone in yet. Then I caught a male Nidoran and a rat, and that was the end of day 13. Now, I'm a little ashamed to say it, but my entire day 14 was spent looking for Firestone shards so I could evolve Growlithe. I literally accomplished nothing else this day. Oh, and I apparently caught a Weedle somewhere. Yeah, I don't remember that happening. Then on day 15, after catching a Geodude, a Ghastly, and a Pidgey, I was finally able to put the Firestone together and evolve my Growlithe. I didn't think it was necessary for me to show every single little capture that I make, but I caught a Kakuna and I caught a Spearow at the end of this day. I spent day 16 finding villages and raiding the Pokemon centers for money. I didn't really catch any Pokemon on this day since I'm making decent progress with catches, so I decided to go back into Ultra Space once this portal spawned. Once I got to Ultra Space again, all I did was catch Pokemon for the most part. I think I caught a Drowsy, a Venonat, a Coughing, a Clefairy. I almost got killed by a Caterpie. In fact, everything was going so well that I forgot that my main goal was to come to Ultra Space to make money, not catch everything I run into. And I guess I never remembered what the goal was because I continued to catch everything that I ran into. Didn't cross my mind once that, running out of Ultra Balls, already out of money, maybe you should do something about that. Anyways, I go back to the overworld, and believe it or not, I continue to catch stuff. Anyways, I guess I was so angry that I forgot to mention that I spent 2 days in there, but when I got back, that was the end of day 18. So I think by day 19 I finally figured out the predicament I was in. So I started going to Pokemon centers again, but then I also started going to mine fossils. I found a covered fossil which you could obviously tell is the one for Amora, but then I found 2 more covered fossils, which one of them was obviously an Ammonite, but I'm pretty sure the old me thought that the other one was Kabuto when it's Cranidos. So yikes. Anyway, that does it for day 19. Okay, so on day 20, after making about 40k, I decided since I wasn't going to listen to myself anyway, I would go on a massive catching spree. I spent all the money on Ultra Balls and I managed to get around 37, so I just decided to go catch any and everything that I ran into. So for the next 6 days, I did all the catching and evolving I could, and this brings us to the quarter progress report. So by the end of day 25, I had 56 Pokemon caught and about 54 in the living dex due to a couple evolutions. And by the end of this quarter, I'm actually making really good progress considering how easy this Pokedex is going to be to complete. The only problem I can see myself running into is the trade evolution Pokemon, because for that I'm going to have to find NPCs in the world, and that's literally RNG based, so that could just take the rest of the time, who knows. Another minor RNG factor is going to be getting orbs from bosses. That's not as much as an RNG factor as the random NPC trades, but it's gonna weigh in a little bit because you don't guarantee to get an orb from a boss kill. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to factor in. Getting the legendary birds is gonna be a hassle on its own because you have to kill a minimum of 375 Pokemon per orb, and I'm not even sure if you can level them up at the same time. Anyways, at the end of the first quarter, the first 25 days, I'm about 1/3 of the way through the Pokedex, 56 Pokemon caught, 54 in the living dex, and it's time to start day 26. So on day 26, after killing my first boss Pokemon, which was a Wooloo, it only gave me a power herb by the way, I decided to make a fossil machine so I can go ahead and revive our Ammonite fossil. It's just a quick Pokemon I can get off the list, and I have to start training it early anyway because I have to get it to level 40, I believe, for it to evolve. And there's no other way to get a Kabutops, so why not start that early? I also ended up grabbing Dratini out of the PC so I could level it up as well, because it's easier to find Dratinis than it is Dragonites, so I might as well start getting that thing leveled up as well. While waiting for the fossil to be revived, I met a dancing Scizor that killed my entire team because I for some reason thought I could fight it. And to make it even worse, the baby Ammonite saw me get destroyed, so I doubted his high hopes for me as a trainer. Anyway, the little baby Ammonite is born, and it is time to end day 26. So I start off day 27 evolving Pokemon and catching Pokemon, and it doesn't really dawn on me until now that I have a Master Ball, so there's literally nothing stopping me from going to catch a Mew. So from day 27 to day 29, I go looking for a mutated jungle biome, and I don't find one. So, when all else fails, you go to Ultra Space. I can cover ground way faster in Ultra Space, so when I find an Ultra Space portal, I build up to it, and when I go into it, it crashes my game. Yup, nice. So on day 30, once I arrive in Ultra Space, I catch a bunch of Pokemon. I believe I catch an Electabuzz, a Hitmonlee, a Primeape, a Kadabra, and then a few more here and there. I do a bit more in-city exploring, and I actually find another Master Ball. So that's another legendary I can get out of the way, which is probably going to be Mewtwo. Because if I'm hunting a Mew, I can clone the Mew. Why wouldn't I catch Mewtwo with the second Master Ball I find? Anyways, I finally find a mutated jungle, and this is probably going to be the last full day for a while that isn't just me sitting in this jungle AFK waiting for Mew to spawn. Mew isn't a Pokemon that spawns very often, so it could take anywhere from 1 day, could take 30, who knows. Anyways, as a wise wolf once said,
The hunt is on, boys.
so, on the first night of me sitting in this jungle waiting for a Mew to spawn, I just so happened to find a very shiny friend. I end up finding a shiny Corphish like moments after walking into this jungle. Like literal moments. Like literally like 10 seconds. And I can't even catch it. It's not a Kanto Pokemon. I can't catch non-Kanto Pokemon. So literally the first shiny I find within these 30 days, I can't even catch it. All of a sudden it disappeared though. I have no clue what happened to it. I don't know where it went, but all that remained of it afterwards was a fish on the ground. I did catch a bunch of, actual Kanto Pokemon though. I caught a Bulbasaur, which is really cool. It really didn't want to get caught though. I wasted like 3 or 4 Ultra Balls on it, I think. I threw a couple Ultra Balls at this Weeping Bell that was level 47, and it stayed in somehow. I'm not gonna question it. This stupid Clefable. This dumb Clefable took like 10, 15 Ultra Balls on its own. I cheesed my way through a boss. I just paralyzed it and then had Gyarados Dragon Dance a couple times, and it died. And then I may have gotten bored. Like really bored. Finally, on day 34, after playing Genshin, actively looking for this Mew, it finally happened. After what felt like forever, a Mew finally spawned on day 34. And can we talk about how this Apom just really didn't want me to win? This Apom just really didn't want me to succeed, bro. Anyway, after no more annoying interruptions, there was nothing standing in between me and Mew, so I Master Balled it, because why wouldn't I? And just like that, One of the harder Pokemon in this Pokedex was knocked off the list. Mew is one of the harder Pokemon to get because they're not like normal Pokemon. They don't spawn like normal Pokemon. It's a legendary. Legendaries have 1/3 of a chance of there being an attempt to spawn one. So it's not even a 30% chance of one spawning one. There's a 30% chance of an attempt happening to spawn one. So yeah, legendaries are not easy to come by. So they're gonna take some time to get. Luckily, however, we do not have to worry about that ever again for this Pokedex. The rest of the legendaries spawn when we want them to. We summon the birds, we clone Mew for Mewtwo, so we do not have to worry about spawn chances ever again for legendaries. After finishing up in Ultra Space, I head back home at the beginning of day 35. It takes me 2 days to get back home because I have to travel 4,000 blocks. So yeah, that was very time consuming. So after holding W for pretty much 2 full Minecraft days, I just decided to call day 36 when I got home. My fingers hurt. I don't feel like holding these buttons anymore. Don't blame me, please. At the beginning of day 37, we have to pay our respects. The rest of day 37 is spent gathering fossils because I need 2 of each for all of them except Aerodactyl to complete the living dex because there's no other way to get them besides fossils. And since I was going to use my fossil machine to make the cloning machine, I just decided to get all of the fossil Pokemon out of the way because I did not want to make another fossil machine later. But yeah, I ended up with 3 dome fossils, another helix fossil, and then 3 old amber. Which is way more than I need, so it's time to go home and end the day.
Oh yeah, I found a Kangaskhan on the way home. I completely forgot about that.
So by the sunrise of day 38, I was finishing up the last couple fossils.
This never really dawned on me in the moment, but I could very easily make the Aerodactyl my flying mount. I think I realized that not too far into the future, but I think it just slipped my mind for the moment.
Anyway, I get both of the Pokemon out of the fossil machines. We now have an Aerodactyl, we have 2 Kabutos, we already have 2 Ammonites. So now it is time to move on and craft this cloning machine.
So I craft the cloning machine. I run far out to an abandoned village, also known as the house right across from mine. And it is time to begin the cloning of Mew. This NPC that decided to walk in this house at the wrong time is about to see some stuff they've never seen before. Now, it did cross my mind to waste one of the Mew rolls on a Ditto, but I didn't want to do 3 iron blocks for the first one, get a Ditto, and then get 2 more Dittos for my diamond rolls. I don't know if this is just my luck, but whenever I do my 3 diamond block rolls when cloning Mew, at least one of them is always a Ditto, every time. So I didn't want to do an iron block roll, get the Ditto, and then go and do my diamond ones, and also get a Ditto. Because then at that point, I would need a new Mew. So I just decided to get the Mewtwo out of the way. If I have a chance of finding Dittos in the wild, and if all else fails, I have to find a Ditto in the wild, or I have to make a new cloning machine. It also just dawned on me how much Master Balls make the game not fun. I don't know if you were watching just now, but I just caught a Mewtwo. And it doesn't even feel like it because I threw a ball that it can't break out of. So, anyway, that's all I did for day 38. As soon as I caught Mewtwo, I went to sleep IRL because I was so tired. And yeah. So on day 39, I got Aerodactyl out of the PC to use as a flying mount, but I didn't know how to land. So I just flew for 20 minutes until I ran into a Pokemon that was aggroed. Finally, after landing 2,000 blocks away, I found a Charmander, which I immediately went to catch. Since I am going for a living dex, I need 3 Charmanders in total. I already have 1 from a starter, so after this one I would need 1 more. So on day 40, after evolving a few Pokemon, finding an Articuno shrine, and then also catching a few new Pokemon, something dumb happened. I went to settle down for the night in this village, and then, this occurred. I was the farthest from a happy camper. Yeah, so on day 41, I flew back on Mewtwo. Laugh it up, we're moving on. Also on day 41, I decided to keep exploring, even though I had a single Ultra Ball to my name. And I actually found another Charmander, which I managed to catch with that single Ultra Ball that I had. So now after I evolve one of the 2 Charmanders I just caught, I will be completely done with the Charmander line, and I don't have to worry about that anymore. The rest of this day is spent looking for villages that sell Ultra Balls. My plan is to get as many basic captures out of the way as I can by day 50, because on day 50, I'm just going to set everything aside, go for orbs, look for traders, so I can get those hard Pokemon knocked off the list. So during the sunrise of day 42, I found the strangest Pokemon Center. For as long as I've been playing Pixelmon, I don't think I've seen a bug like that in my life. I don't even know how this would ever happen. It's just strange. Anyway, there was a normal village just across the forest, so I ran over there and I was able to buy just about a stack of Ultra Balls. So I immediately went to go do some more catching. I did a bit more exploring. I found another village. And a quick little question. Did anyone else know Togekiss spawned in the wild? I had no clue. I did not know that this Pokemon spawned in the wild. And that just blew my mind. I found that so amazing for some reason. Day 43 went just about the same as day 42. I just ran around catching any Pokemon that I could, now that I can afford to do so. After catching a Machoke, a Venomoth, and literally the most annoying Butterfree I have ever met in my life, I decided to chill in this birch forest that I found because Eevee is a very rare Pokemon. I need 4 of those, so I got some work cut out for me. On day 45, I make a few more catches while waiting for this Eevee to spawn, and I'm honestly starting to run out of Pokemon that I can just catch without having to train or evolve or anything. Anyway, after waiting long enough, a huge Eevee spawned. This Eevee was massive, enormous even. Well, literally. But I caught it. And instead of waiting for 3 more to spawn, I'm just gonna go home and make a breeding station. But I don't have any Pokemon compatible with Eevee right now, which means we get to go find a Ditto. And when I say find a Ditto, I mean clone Mew. And when I say clone Mew, I mean we have to make a new cloning machine. Hooray! After catching this Persian, I stuck around in this birch forest a little longer looking for leafstone shards, but nothing else happened this day, so that's going to be the end of day 45. Day 46 was probably the most uneventful day by far. The only thing I did on day 46 was evolve a Bulbasaur. I was down bad. On day 47, I even had to resort to going to Ultra Space for content, and it didn't work. Day 47 was shaping up to be just as uneventful as day 46. There was literally nothing happening. I didn't find any new Pokemon to catch. There was just nothing to do. Until I actually started paying attention to my game. I don't know if anyone saw it on that mini-map or not, but a stack attack has spawned. So it was at this point that I remembered that Ultra Beasts don't have spawn notifications in the chat. So I'm kind of just over here thinking man, every time that I stopped paying attention to the game, I could have just missed Ultra Beast. It had to go though. I played the selfish card. If I couldn't have it, no one else could. Ultra Space didn't really have much going for it anymore, so I left. After returning from Ultra Space, I started to make the great journey home. It didn't take me too long to get back in the general area of my house, considering Aerodactyl flies very fast, but I got lost. So, yeah, I kind of just spent the night in the middle of nowhere. So I got back home just before the sunrise of day 48, so we're gonna count this as day 48, I don't care. So anyway, I spent all morning getting destroyed by a Mega Kangaskhan, and then I also tried to get Moonstone Shards from the foraging feature, which had no success. I didn't get a single one.
And then all of a sudden I turn around and the Kangaskhan's have turned into 2. Yup. And I stood not a chance against either of them. The rest of the day is pretty uneventful. I spend it trying to get more Moonstone shards, but then this happens. So I found out Raikou is quite the loud Pokemon. When it spawned in, it was just roaring and screaming like the whole time. So I'm just over here like walking in circles looking for it, and then I look in the Pokemon Center, and there's just a little baby Raikou on the counter, and it was the cutest thing. Seeing as though I can't catch it, I left it and I called it a night. On day 49, all I really did is make a breeding area for Eevee, but then maybe like 5 minutes later, I found a wild Jolteon, which I didn't even know could exist. So that like kind of makes this thing like 33% more useless, since I only need 3 of the evolutions anyway. But anyway, I guess on to day 50. So day 50 starts off with a few evolutions and a few little catches here and there. And I also go mining so I can get a bit more bauxite to make another cloning machine. Anyway, with all that stuff out of the way, let's get into this next quarter progress report, or I guess you could refer to it as the halfway progress report, since I'm halfway through the days now. So at this point, I think I'm down to 47 Pokemon left, and I know about 1/8 of them are starter entries. The trade evolutions take up a little bit of that 47, but then mostly the rest of the Pokemon I need are just Pokemon that I'd have to like hard grind out levels for. Like there's no other way around it. Like most of the Pokemon I have left, like be done easy over with a quick evolution. But it's like I can also find them in the wild, so it's like I could just be lazy and wait for them to spawn. But then I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to spawn, so it's like, eh. It was also when I was going through my PC that I noticed Vulpix didn't spawn in the Savannah biome anymore. So yeah, I definitely have to do my research to find out where Vulpix spawns, because I have no clue where it spawns now, if not in the Savannah biome. But yeah, as you can see from me scrolling through these boxes, all these Pokemon are just evolutions, just level evolutions. Like, I'm just gonna have to grind out the levels. But anyway, I'm doing the progress report over here, and I'm just interrupted. I'm just rudely interrupted. This is like 2 legendaries in like such a short time of each other. Like Raikou spawned like, what is it, 3 days ago? I don't know how long a Minecraft day is, but bruh. I guess after dealing with the Terrakion, I forgot to go back and scroll through my Pokedex. So, I guess that's it for this quarter progress report. 50 days left, 47 Pokemon left to catch, but I doubt I'll end up using all 50 days, especially if I just hard commit to leveling up the Pokemon that I need to evolve anyway. Like, just off the top of my head, Dratini, Ammonite, Kabuto, Jigglypuff. Like, if I evolve those Pokemon, that's like, what is it? 5 more Pokemon knocked off the list just like that. So, I mean, I just have to hard commit to the grind, and I think I'll make it in time. I spent day 51 gathering more resources to make a new cloning machine. I don't understand why you need obsidian to make a cloning machine, but you do apparently, so whatever. I also evolved one of my Weeping Bells into a Victory Bell, so now I have another Pokemon off the list. But then I went to clone Mew, and I got a Ditto. On to the next day. So on day 52, I went to the Nether because it was only at this point did I realize Porygon is spawned through the crafting of PCs. So I spent this whole day gathering glowstone and bauxite because I have to craft so many PCs to get all the pieces of Porygon. On day 53, I caught a couple Pokemon, including a wild Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is another Pokemon that I did not know could spawn in the wild, but that saves me a Moonstone, so only 2 more Moonstone evolutions, yay! I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what was going on with this Arbok, but it looked cool, so I caught it. So by day 54, I feel like it's time to start bounty hunting. I'm gonna just start singling out Pokemon, find where they spawn, and then just staying there until one eventually does. The first one being Vulpix, which I found out spawns in a Mega Taiga biome. So I guess we're flying to the Mega Taiga. I ended up finding a Mega Taiga
during the sunrise, which is kind of annoying because Vulpix is a nighttime spawn. But I did eventually find and catch 2 of them, which is exactly what I needed. So I may have let my anger get the best of me during these next couple days. I went to battle this gym, and oh yeah, Koopa spawned as well, but that's besides the point. I went to battle this gym, and then I ended up losing to something dumb. So then that like made me angry, and then I proceeded to spend the next 2 days trying to beat this gym. And it didn't even feel good to beat the gym in the end. Like, I just wasted so much time because of petty anger. Like, I'm pretty sure I started using Gyarados when Gyarados is at level 37. And Gyarados came out of this gym battle after winning at like level 51 or something. And that's how long I've been here trying to beat this gym. Like, it got to the point where I was trying to memorize what the enemy Pokemon were gonna do. Like, I learned how the Wormadam will Dynamax, but then it'll always press Max Guard because it doesn't have any attack moves. Or like how the Bisharp will only use Sucker Punch on Butterfree because it'll one-shot it, so I can just use status moves. But yeah, I spent these next 2 days very, very tilted. Day 58 to day 62 was probably the most productive I've ever been. I think I did like 10 evolutions over these few days, and I caught like 6 Pokemon I didn't have. Yeah, I hatched an Eevee, I evolved it into a Vaporeon. I continued like bounty hunting, like going after specific Pokemon. I killed a few bosses here and there, didn't get any orbs yet though. And yeah, I don't really know how to commentate for the next minute of just evolutions. So I'm gonna leave you to enjoy that. And on day 63, I'm about to go to the nether to get glowstone because I need glowstone to make a bunch of PCs. Like, I'm gonna try and make like 30 of them, like at once, because that'll like give me like a lot more Porygon pieces. But then, I see something out of the corner of my eye as I'm flying away. It is another shiny Corphish. No matter how many shiny Corphish spawn, the rules haven't changed. I still cannot catch it. But we're not gonna talk about where I got this fish from. This fish just randomly appeared in my inventory. I just thought it was only right that it goes on the wall next to its other fallen brethren. Anyway, I go to the nether and I grab a bunch of glowstone. Then I head back and also evolve my second Eevee that I forgot to do earlier into a Flareon. So now that's the evolutions out of the way. I honestly don't even want to talk about day 64. It was terrible. I went mining and I mined about 4 stacks of bauxite. And then I hammered out the 4 stacks of bauxite. It was not fun. I had to repair my hammer I don't know how many times. It was terrible. So after hammering out all of the aluminum, I was able to craft 30 PCs. But from these 30 PCs, I actually didn't get a Porygon buddy, but luckily I did already have one from earlier PC crafting. I had done this before, that's why I have 8 PCs. But I was indeed able to craft and catch a Porygon. After that, I went to an Extreme Hills biome to find an Onix, which was for some reason was literally impossible, and a Snorlax.
But before I could even find those two, I found an Entei. Something I think is funny is that after you KO an Entei, all that's left of it is a Blaze Rod. Like this legendary beast that's known to summon volcanoes when it roars, only leaves behind a Blaze Rod when it faints. I don't know, that was kind of funny to me. And I did eventually find a Snorlax, one that is the complete opposite of what you would expect it to look like. I ended up finding a pygmy Snorlax, the second smallest it could possibly be. That's kind of funny. But I did catch it, and that was the end of day 66. So on day 67, I wanted to test if Sky Platform still worked, where it stops every Pokemon except the ones that fly from spawning. And it did work. So like, why not get a Dragonite while I'm up here? Dragonite is still an ultra rare spawn anyway, so it's still gonna take a while for one to spawn. So I'm just chilling up here for so long that I started talking to myself in the chat. Started talking to the Wingles and Pelipers that were flying by. The casual Latios goes flying by, nothing out of the ordinary here. Latios pass through here all the time, it's no big deal. But a Dragonite did end up spawning at the end of day 68, and I was able to catch it. Barely though, because my Mewtwo was already almost dead because I was fighting bosses. So like if Mewtwo faints there, I have no way to get back up there because all my other flying mounts are already fainted. So like, that Dragonite's just flying away if Mewtwo faints here. So I end up flying back home on the newly caught Dragonite, and I still can't figure out how to land, and I don't think I ever will. Anyway, after doing countless 360s around my house until I figured out how to land, for the first time in forever, I actually went to sleep. Day 69 was like so all over the place, but I actually did get a decent amount of stuff done. The little baby Dratini of our team was finally evolving to a Dragonair due to the great usage of rare candy. I switched Dragonair out for Ammonite because I need to start leveling Ammonite up as well. But then when I wasn't even looking for it, I finally found the Onyx that I've been looking for like 10 of these days. Onyx has the most annoying conditions for it to spawn. It has to be clear weather, it can't spawn on mountains that are taller than Y90, or it only spawns in the afternoon. Blah blah blah, Onyx dumb. What are you looking at? I went to fight this Metagross that looked at me ever so rudely, and it was a mistake. It hyper beamed my whole team, except Gyarados because Gyarados was able to Dragon Dance like in between hyper beams. I also had Gyarados intimidated maybe 5 or 6 times because, you know, I'm scared. It actually did give me a Nether Star when I defeated it though, which is actually really good because I don't believe I have any other way of getting Nether Stars currently. But yeah, after defeating this Metagross, that was the end of day 69. So by day 70 I had finally found a jungle, and I was going to end up being here for about a day and a half because I need a Pinsir, which spawns at nighttime, and I need a Tangela, which spawns in the morning. I saw a few pretty cool Pokemon, like this pink Butterfree, which is an anime reference. And then I also KO'd a couple bosses, but have still yet to get an orb. And I'm down to the last 30 days. So it's gonna be cutting it close, depending on when I get these orbs. But I did eventually find a Pinsir, and seeing as how the next Pokemon I need spawns during the morning, there was really nothing else for me to do this day besides just hang around in this jungle biome. So that's the end of day 70. Day 71 was wild. Yeah, I found a Tangela. Yeah, I evolved a Pidgeot. But this next part that happened was actually just insane. Like, I'll just give you real-time audio for this. Huh? Huh? Yeah. I found a shiny Squirtle.
Not only is this the first shiny I can actually catch, it's a starter. Now, Squirtle has about a 2.7% chance, or about a 3% chance of spawning at night on the beach biome. It's boosted up to about 5 or 6% because it's raining, but let's just think about these numbers for a second. Squirtle has about a 5 or 6% chance of spawning under these conditions, that it's raining at nighttime on a beach biome. And there's a 1% chance of a shiny Pokemon spawning. Yeah, I don't know how small the end number is, but that's just wild to me. These next few days were just spent evolving Pokemon. I'm getting down to the last few in the Pokedex, so there's really not much for me to do anymore besides evolve Pokemon. I finally got around to evolving my Charmeleon into a Charizard. This evolution was very much overdue. I let him get a little flexing in, because he eventually is going to be overshadowed by, the new shiny Squirtle I caught the day before, which has also now already been evolved into a Wartortle. Also, this was like the most awkward evolution to sit through, because for some reason the evolution effects didn't happen, so I was just staring at my Squirtle expanding. I went to the nearby swamp biome to hopefully fish up a muck, which you can get through super rod fishing in swamps. And my first cast, I got a Greninja. So, I never did fish up a muck, but I actually fished up a Grimer that was level 38, and I had a rare candy, so I just had to give it a rare candy, and it evolved into a muck. And after training on the level 50 Wish Cache and Sea Kings from the swamp fishing, we now have Wartortle evolving into a Blastoise. And in all honesty, I did not remember shiny Blastoise being this pink, like pinkish purple, but apparently it actually is. I went and googled it. Apparently it is that pink. So, anyway, I was a very happy camper with this evolution. It took 2 days to get a Blastoise, a whole 70 to get a Charizard, but whatever. It was actually really convenient that Seeking was a tier 1 encounter through fishing, which means I could run into a bunch of them and just level up all the Pokemon that I needed to. So I ended up finishing this day off with an evolution on Omastar and an evolution on Rhydon. Okay, so I had planned so much stuff on day 75 that I actually forgot to do a quarter progress report. So we're gonna have to do that on day 76. And funny enough, everything that I had planned for this day ended up getting ruined anyway because I spent the whole day fishing for a Seadra. In all honesty, it probably would have been quicker to just find a Horsey and level it up. That's how much time it took to find the Seadra. And I guess all the shinies just feel like rolling in now, because the shiny Magikarp spawned while I was out here fishing, like right after I caught the Seadra. No, it's not a shiny Squirtle, but we take those. We'll take it. That's fine. Obviously, I had to evolve it, because, why wouldn't I? I don't have a Gyarados in the PC yet, so... Also, if you're wondering where I keep getting rare candy from, it's like the most common boss drop item, and a bunch of bosses spawn in the ocean due to the amount of Pokemon that spawn here. So I always have like a constant 3 or 4 rare candy.
Alright, so the not so quarter progress report. I have about 10 Pokemon left to catch, 7 of them consisting of the trade evolutions and the 3 birds. I think the last 3 Pokemon I needed were Nidoking, Wigglytuff, and Hitmonchan. 2 of those which I can find pretty easily. Hitmonchan spawns in Extreme Hills in the morning. Wigglytuff spawns in Plains biomes at sunset. Those 2 aren't the most complicated to get because they're easy spawns in the wild. But Nidoking, I feel like it's just way too uncommon in the wild, despite me getting my Nidoqueen through the wild. I haven't even seen a Nidoking. Have not even seen one. Haven't even failed to catch one. I just have not seen one spawn. And I still also haven't even gotten a single Moonstone shard through the foraging feature. I think that you have like a 3% chance of finding one of those on a stone-based blocks, but I have still yet to get a single one, so... Also, I was fighting a boss Kangaskhan and then Victini decided to want to arrive and steal the show, so yeah, that happened as well. Yeah, Victini got turned into a flame orb. Even after fighting about 3 more bosses this night, I still just did not get any orbs. That's gonna... If I fail this, it's gonna be from these birds. I have 24 days to find and fill 3 orbs, And I still have to find a Zapdos shrine. I don't know where any are. If I fail this, I blame Zapdos. I feel like it's the rarest shrine out of all of them, even though I don't think it really matters. I still blame Zapdos. So I was actually just hanging around in this Extreme Hills biome when a Crystal Onyx spawned. Also an anime reference. Crystal Onyx is way more rare than regular Onyx, so of course, why wouldn't I go catch it? So I get into battle with it, I'm throwing my Ultra Balls, and then Tauros crits it, and the Onyx is gone, just like that. It took 2 days for this Hitmonchan to spawn. I caught my Hitmonchan, and then I left this mountain very angry. I was upset, I was sad, I was hurt. Stupid Tauros. I legit didn't do anything after I caught that Hitmonchan. I kinda just sat there for the rest of the day. So day 79 is where we actually run into our first little issue. I started up a new world to see if trading with the NPCs would actually evolve your Pokemon. And it turns out instead of evolving your Pokemon, it actually just crashes your game. And then when you log back in, you don't even have the evolved Pokemon. But I'm just thinking of things I can do because now that I can't trade with NPCs, how am I going to evolve the 4 Pokemon that I need to complete the Pokedex? No, luckily, a traveling trainer just so happened to be in the area. Someone who is actually looking to do a bit of trading themselves. Yeah, another Raikou spawn, but we have more important things to get to right now. But we eventually get to my house and we start trading the Pokemon to evolve them. And honestly, I'm not sure if there was any other way that this could have been done. Like, as you saw before, anytime you trade a Pokemon that evolves through trade, the game just crashes. There's literally nothing you can do about it. Like, I even tried not having the game in full screen, but literally, like, anything I tried didn't work. Like, I even checked to see if, like, the Pokemon still went to my Pokedex, even after the trade, and it didn't. I still just had the Haunter in the trade, no Gengar, so there was no other way to do it besides actually trading with someone. But anyways, 4 Pokemon left, 20 days to catch them. I got the faith.
Okay, now the amount of shinies I'm starting to find is just ridiculous. I was hanging around in this ice biome, foraging for ice stone shards because I need an ice stone for when I find an orb. And I wasn't recording because, you know, I'm just chilling in an ice plains biome, pressing G every now and then. So there was really no reason for me to be recording. But yeah, I saw this oddly colored cloud of smoke on my mini-map, which turned out to be a shiny Ghastly. I couldn't tell it was a Ghastly because of the Cubchoo in the way on the mini-map. Now I can't give the real-time audio for this one because, you know, language. But I was very, very surprised about this spawn as well. And I was actually like very ill-prepared for like any shinies that I were to find. I was running very low on Ultra Balls compared to how much I used to have. And I also really did not want to attack this Ghastly. This Ghastly learns Curse at level 20. And so if it were to use Curse, take away half its HP, and then Lapras faints, and then it uses Curse again, it would also faint, and then I would just lose the Ghastly completely. So I kind of just had to hope that throwing Ultra Balls while I was at full HP would work, and it eventually did. But it was a bit of a close call. So I spent day 81 flying back to my sky platform because I learned something amazing. I learned that Dragonite had a 50% chance of dropping an orb upon defeating them. So I stuck around here until sunset and a Dragonite did spawn that I did get an orb from. So this just made finding orbs so much easier. I stuck around until sunrise and another Dragonite spawned that I got an orb from. It was another level 71, so I don't know if level has anything to do with it. I doubt it, but eh. Anyway, I flew home and I crafted the orbs there. I stopped at 2 orbs because it's not like I have an ice stone anyway to make the Articuno orb, so when I need it, I'll just go back and fight another Dragonite. So it was also here where I realized that unfortunately you cannot level up the orbs at the same time. You have to do it one at a time, KOing 375 Pokemon for each. I went and crafted a shiny lure just to like make this a little less boring than I know it's gonna be. But at the end of the day, I had to go KO 375 Pokemon twice, so. Day 84 is probably the most confused but relieved I've ever been. I'm making some pretty decent progress on the orb. I don't know why I decided to fill the Zapdos one, considering I don't have a Zapdos shrine, but well, whatever. I kinda really wasn't focusing on my game because I was trying to watch RLCS at the same time. So I'm kinda just like strafe walking and hoping Pokemon run into me themselves, like ones that spawn aggro. But I look up on this hill and there's a pink Nidoking. I was at like such a loss of words. That didn't stop me from catching it though. I'm not missing this. Now that I've caught a Nidoking, the last 3 Pokemon I need are the legendary birds, and I'm already in the process of 2 of them. So I'm I'm starting to get confident. And it's a good thing this Nidoking spawned too. Like, I was getting to the point where I was just gonna wait for a Cresselia to spawn. I even flew and found a mutated birch forest. I was prepared. Anyway, I get this orb to 374 Pokemon KO'd, and there's just one Pokemon standing in between me and a full orb. I couldn't do it. I could not KO this Shinx. It's my favorite Pokemon. I couldn't do it. But after KOing this Watchog, I did have a full orb of Static Souls. You know, this same night, another wild occurrence happened. I was evolving my shiny Ghastly because I was debating on if I wanted to evolve it into a Gengar or not. The shiny Gengar, as most people know, isn't really the most flashy Pokemon. I was evolving it into Haunter just for like a Living Dex placeholder for the moment, but I was still under the debate if I wanted to evolve it again or not. But right now, I want everyone to take a good look at the minimap and tell me what they notice. As we've all just seen, I am not the owner of a shiny Ghastly anymore. So that is another shiny Ghastly in like 3 days. And I didn't even notice it. It's like another good like minute before I finally see it on the minimap. I just kept going on about my night, cleaning up my inventory, putting stuff in chests. But yeah, I finally noticed it and I started freaking out yet again because that's 2 shiny Ghastly in like the span of 3 days, like I said. And then like this isn't even that much further after the Magikarp, which is also not that much further after the Squirtle. That's like 4 shinies that I could actually catch in like the span of 14 days, I think. And I swear, like all of my game stuff is normal. Like the shiny rate is normal. Like it's just wild. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. I went back to Ultra Space to get Master Balls because I don't really want to waste stacks of Ultra Balls trying to catch these birds. Legendary catch rates are dumb, and I'd rather not lose one of the last 3 Pokemon I need because I couldn't catch it. So I'm Master Balling. It took me maybe about 3.5 days to find all 3 Master Balls I needed. So like right now, there's pretty much nothing standing in between me and finishing off this challenge. I just have to find a Zapdos shrine. I know where plenty of Moltres shrine are. And then I still have to get 1 more orb and an Ice Stone for the Articuno orb. And then I'm pretty much done with this challenge. Also, this is the strangest end ship I've ever seen. Like, I have never seen one spawn in the ground before. So when I got back to the O-Road on day 88, it was morning time, and I did a little research about Ice Stones, and you can actually get them through fishing in frozen biomes. I was able to get about 6 shards through fishing, but you can actually only get Ice Stones and Ice Stone shards during the day. Luckily, Alolan Sandshrew spawn at night, and they actually have a 50% chance of dropping Ice Stone shards upon defeating them. And this is the last one I actually needed to defeat to get all 9 of my Ice Stone shards. So the same night, I actually flew back to my sky platform to try and catch a Dragonite on the morning. But I actually got there with some time to spare, so I decided to make this night interesting. So if you didn't know, there's actually something really cool you can do on full moons. All you need is a jack-o'-lantern and 3 torches. I found a pumpkin in the nearby forest, and then I stole the torches from this Pokemon Center. But yeah, all you really need to do is make an L out of torches, send out the starter of your choice, and then you just right-click it with the jack-o'-lantern. I think these are referred to as zombie Pokemon, and I'm fairly certain you can do them with every starter except Alolan and Galar starters. I think you can also do this with Sableye, Arcanine, and Ditto as well. I didn't try any of those because I forgot, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the other 3 you can do this with. So the following morning I actually was able to catch a Dragonite spawning, and this Dragonite did indeed have an orb for me. And I mean, the next step was just to fill the orbs, which took 4 days because I was procrastinating. Okay, but let's be real. Who actually wants to sit there and KO 750 Pokemon like without stopping at least once? I didn't, so I stopped more than at least once, but I didn't want to defeat 750 Pokemon in a row. But finally, with all the orbs filled, it's time to go catch us some birds. And you know, I thought there would be some sort of spawn animation, but no, there's not. You just put the orb in, the bird instantly spawns, and then I caught it. So, this is a lot more anticlimactic than I thought it would be. And once again, it was repeated for Articuno the exact same way. You know, just spawn, catch, move on. I regret getting the Master Balls. So on day 94, I was flying looking for a Zapdos shrine, and then not even 5 minutes later, I actually found one. So now, with the finding of this shrine, there's nothing standing in between me and a complete Pokedex. I'm also pretty sure this is the furthest I've ever been away from my house. I've usually only stopped 10,000 blocks out, but this time I had to travel 14,000 blocks just to find a Zapdos shrine. But with Zapdos captured, I now have a completed Pokedex, 151 Pokemon caught. And of course, you know I had to take a squad picture, squad selfies. On day 95, I flew back home. All that's really left for me to do is get the last few Pokemon I need for a full living dex. So I had to replace the trade evolution Pokemon that I evolved. I got a new Kadabra, Graveler, I evolved a Squirtle, I evolved a Bulbasaur. Our new Machoke was a clown, he was flexing for the camera. Now usually something like this wouldn't take 3 days, but this time there actually is a reason as for why it took 3 days. So as soon as I got back home, I actually switched up my breeding station and I put Dragonair in it instead of Blastoise because I had had all the Squirtle eggs I needed. But it ended up taking an hour for our Dragonair to produce a Dratini egg. So yeah, that's where the 3 days came from. So on day 98, I tried to fix the breeding station to support Venusaur, but I forgot that Venusaur is dual typed. Knowing that an egg wouldn't be produced in time, I had to hope a Bulbasaur spawned, and luckily one did spawn on the morning of day 98. And during the sunrise of day 99, the last Pokemon needed for our living dex was born. This has been quite the journey, and finally, all 151 Pokemon have been caught, and all 151 Pokemon are in the PC. It did come down to the wire, but I'm sure if I were to do this over again, there's a lot of time management things I could do to make this way easier on myself. Regardless, this has been quite the fun and entertaining journey, and it's also a challenge completed. So I guess there's really nothing else for me to say. Well, besides, thanks for watching.